This is Roger Struckoff with Syscon TV. We're at Cloud Expo East in New York, 2014, if you can believe it. I'm sitting with James Urquhart with Dell. Previously with Stratius, he's Director of Cloud Product at Dell. James, welcome. And let's ask a real general question. What do you do when you go to work?
That's a great question. Dell Cloud Manager is a cloud management environment for the consumption of IaaS cloud resources, and we do this in a way that we provide a consistent interface, both in terms of API and in terms of user interface, for doing a wide variety of activities core to being able to deploy and operate software in IaaS clouds, multi-cloud environments, hybrid cloud environments, with governance, with security around key management and other logging, auditing, those kinds of things. And so agility, governance, and choice are really kind of the core mantras of what we do. My job is both to help define that product, to understand what our customers want, what the market wants, define that capability, and also then to be able to articulate what we're doing to the market. So product marketing, product management are two pieces of my part. And then interestingly in my group, we also own QA, because we see QA as a way of validating that the product has been defined correctly. So that's primarily what my core is. I spend a lot of time talking to customers. I spend a lot of time thinking about this space and what the core requirements are for an enterprise to be able to use cloud in a secure and agile way. And that's most of what I do. Okay.
Now, we're going to get to something you call the day one, day two challenge in a second. But first, I'd like to ask, what did you bring to the table? You were acquired, so there must have been something good. What did you bring to the table to Dell? And was it about a year ago, I think? So what did you bring to the table then now? In that year since you've been acquired, what has Dell done to help you improve or progress down the road?
Sure. Well, the core thing for Dell was they had independently sat down and thought about what do we really want to do around cloud strategy. They could go into the billion-dollar investment game from building a public cloud service, investing in all that infrastructure and data centers and grow that out. They had started down that path around an OpenStack cloud service. But what they really realized as they dug into it is that the strength of what Dell can bring to the table is their ability to put together solutions around a variety of different capabilities from the hardware and the software layer. So when you're talking about public cloud, Dell certainly sells hardware to those public cloud vendors. Most of the major vendors have some element of Dell in their shop. But if you're consuming cloud services, if you're either building a private cloud or if you're just consuming cloud services in general, there's a number of security-related and management-related and other activities that have to be put in place for operations to be able to interact with those environments in the correct ways. And they began to realize very quickly there was a layer of software that was needed that was about the consuming of cloud services. And that's when, once they defined that, they started looking around and they saw very quickly that Stratius was the leader or a leader at the very least, and that we had, out of the box, day one, 50% of the features they were thinking about in that space, and then with our roadmap in place, we were at an 80-85% match level. It was an easy purchase for them.
Okay. I think there's about 2 more hours but we're going to run out of time before we get to it. But we'll give you contact information. I did want to talk about this day one, day two challenge that you mentioned. What's that all about?
Sure. Well, it's really interesting, I think, for enterprise infrastructure teams to be thinking about when they're implementing the consoles, the environments by which they expect their end users to be able to consume cloud services. And we're talking about hybrid environments here primarily, although it's true for just private cloud as well. What often happens is that the infrastructure teams spend a lot of time thinking about what their needs are in terms of these environments. How do they integrate with Active Directory? How do they get specific controls around attaching volumes to servers and limiting the amount of space that's consumed, setting up networking, having flexibility in networks operations, and all those things are important. But what very often happens is a year later they turn around and they make it available to their end user. And at that point in time, the end users look at it and they go, well, where's the features and the value add for me? And that's the end user thing there, I think, is a really critical part of it, is making sure that you're also thinking about what are the capabilities that we're offering developers, that we're offering application owners in our teams in order to be able to consume cloud services. That's something we really spend a lot of time thinking about at Dell Cloud Management.
Okay. So There's a lot of thought about end users here, which is great to hear. Of course, that would be Dell's focus for many years, but also for developers, which is one of the primary reasons he's here. James, we could go on forever, but we're running out of time. How should people contact you, and how can they contact your team, your part of Dell where you work, to learn more?
Sure. So a lot of our information can be found actually on the enstratius.com website. Still at this point in time, it's a good launching point to understand where Dell Cloud Manager is. So I encourage people to go there to find out things, sign up for a free trial of the environment. We have a really fun pricing scheme that we do there that they can check out there. For me personally, best place to find me is on Twitter, just at James Urquhart, and I'm sure the spelling will be available. Just Urquhart is the last name. But I'm there all the time, and people can reach out directly to me there, and I'm happy to respond.
Beautiful. Thank you for watching. For Syscon TV, this is Roger Struckoff.